Sure. Wow. I just want to quickly read us the definition of an agitator. In politics, an agitator is someone who deliberately gets other people riled up about issues and encouraging them to protest. Prof. Bona, you've riled us up today. However, instead of protesting, I want us to use this time to open up conversations about what has just been discussed. I want us to engage as the floor on the various issues that Prof. Bonang has mentioned today, and to really dissect into them, to also give a preview and a better understanding, or different perspectives rather, to the youth that are sitting in this room, encouraging them also to have these conversations, to ask the questions. I just want to take this moment right now to really open up the floor and for us to have these conversations, because it is important. It is important for us to talk about it. So, anyone is welcome to start. Yeah. I will just walk around with the mic to certain questions. So if Rob can just assist me with
I will also start by Nadu Mohali. You continue to inspire us, and today continue to agitate us. We learn from you whenever talking in our organization, we decide to all rise, lead as you rise. All the work that you do continue to inspire us. But listening to you here, I should say, and listening to you here, I get to remember the words in one of the books of one of the strategists, Jim Collins. I think it's Good to Great. That's a book where he says, it's not how things end, not how things ended. It's how they started. Which also takes us to another phrase or statement on failure. It sounds so very cliche, simple, but failing to plan is planning to fail. Amen. And hopefully this will also help contribute as we get agitated here. Culture is strategy for breakfast. So all these things when you talk to having to make sure that you mentioned governance, ethics, leadership, all those key things. Planning better, I think it was nice and how we define leadership as, having to, paraphrase it, people have to want to be led by you. So we have so much to do. My daughter always reminds me, yes, simplistically, they came yesterday in the States, that you always complain this is not done, a vote is a paycheck. But probably we can do more than that. So yes, more comments, no question, but continue to get agitated. Thank you, and at the moment, always good to see you.
Thank you, Program Director. Speaking is Wesley Jamini. I am the mayor of the city of Mazini, the heart of Eswatini. The youngest mayor. Young youth. Dr. Masilela, take this opportunity to observe all protocol in the house. Really appreciate the opportunity again, agitated indeed, to appreciate that. As a young leader, from this opportunity that I've actually been given, Dr. Masilela, I'm glad that I've actually got to come here and appreciate such an honorable platform. These are the questions that have to be, there are certain questions that have to be asked to us as leaders. And us as leaders need to give faith and guidance to the youth. But honestly speaking, from trying to understand the environment that is actually there, it's tough ahead, but as leaders we need to give faith to the youth that is actually coming behind us. But looking at the environment and how things are happening, the future is looking bleak. I'm an internal auditor, I'd say, that's my profession, but I ended up in politics, surprisingly. It is sad. The youth is actually looking into us to give leadership. But the leaders that have actually came before us, they failed to give leadership. If the ANC, as you say, had that majority, they had in them to actually change the constitution for certain things to happen in their lives. Number two, it's really sad, as a mayor, my job is actually tasked on looking at the welfare of my citizens and other things that can come forth. Yes, power was given to the ANC. Where is Johannesburg now? The state is something really bad. But things have always been projected as no power to the people. Why was power taken away from us as black people? But us as black people have failed to lead by example. That is really sad. But those are the unfortunate truths that are there. And it is my responsibility to, as a leader now, to take forth and not give actually to say, no, the ground was not, I need to lead by example. As young as I need to lead by example. And not to run away from responsibility. Because what we've actually seen in the past, we are running away from the responsibilities. So no commission, I follow a lot of South African politics. I'm Mama Zulu over there. I'm inspired by you too. I follow South African politics. Zondo Commission came. How many millions they actually spent there? Who has actually been put into task according to the Zondo Commission? It's really saddening. And that does not actually give hope to the youth when the direction is actually taken there. When the direction is actually in that way. Secretary, program director, we all have actually observed South African politics landscape with what has actually happened to MK. That Floyd Shivambu, that was the youth league, that's how we got to get raised and entered politics, EFF, Floyd Shivambu, St. Closie and everything. But the leaders are not playing their roles. It's like politics is just a way of eating money, getting tenders. I loot, the ANC is going down. I let me loot because it's a dying baby before it dies. Let us take responsibilities and lead by example. Those are my thank you.
Good morning to everyone. Zwanini Shabalala is my name, Bishop of the Lutheran Church. I want to thank you, Prof, for making us angry. And I hope that we are angry, agitated indeed from what you just said. Just two things. One, I'm a little bit concerned that in everything that you said, there was no single mention of Eswatini and the situation in Eswatini. It may be deliberate, but it's concerning to me. Secondly, since Sunday, I've been having this thing that has been troubling me in my mind. And this comes after moving from Sandton to Soweto, going backwards in terms of what happened in June 1976. what worried me and still worries me, maybe you can give me an answer that will calm me down. Being in Sandton, the richest square mile in Africa, and finding the largest statue of Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela, who you think was an embodiment of the people's pain and suffering in South Africa. Now, the biggest statue of him is in the richest part of South Africa. And then moving from there to Soweto. And I was saying to my colleagues, this doesn't make sense. I don't understand it. Why would this be allowed that the person who represented the oppressed is now captured in a square mile that now represents the oppressor, so to speak? And you go to Soweto, you find grinding poverty. Even when you go to his house in Soweto and you see those things, but around there you just see poverty. And to me that was saying neo-colonialism is really bad. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. I am agitated to the fact that the question that comes to mind is, did we do enough for our youth? Especially when it comes to unemployment. We always talk about unemployment, where all the time, solutions, no. Are we shooting a missing target when we're trying to address it? Why do we expect so much from the youth when we haven't done enough? We haven't done anything. No one has ever addressed the unemployment, because you cannot address the unemployment without creating a plan, skill the youth, open opportunities for them. We cannot take our youth and give them 6-month skills programs, give them learnerships, and then pay them stipend for what? We have to come up with a proper plan and identify critical, and I always say critical skills, because they are on demand. If I train a pilot today, it's guaranteed he or she is going to get employment. But if I train somebody, again, as a farmer, that person will be able to create jobs for others. Let's start creating employers, not employees. Because we've got this mentality that kids must go to school and they must be whatever trained and go and work for somebody else when they can actually work for themselves. Yesterday when I was coming, we were driving with Dr. Nzimande. By the way, Dr. Nzimande works for our college, private college. I was saying to him, let's start a youth movement. Not a political party, I don't know anything about politics. A youth movement that's going to start with faith. Let's give them a platform. Let's start a youth. I'm willing to even fund that youth movement. So that we need this, not because I've got money, but because we have to start addressing unemployment. We cannot expect so much from the youth. I'm going to talk about TVET colleges. I'm going to be controversial. We've got TVET colleges. And you take your kid to a TVET college. You expect the TVET college to produce the cream of the crop. How are they going to produce the cream of the crop when they're not capacitated? The teaching system needs an overhaul. We need professionals, we need people with post-grad to teach our kids. And if once we start doing that, Prof, I'm agitated in such a way that really we need to start something. And I'm here, should you want to join, let's start that movement. Not to fight, not to do anything, but to do our work. We lost it when we removed civic education in our curriculum. Because if we did, we would have created the holistic individuals that can actually go out there and be proper human beings. Not have our kids, it's not nice to have our kids toiling all the time, every year, for NSPAs, for everything. It's not the right way. Let's start a movement that will address issues of youth. Even here in Eswatini, I nearly said another word. Even here in Eswatini, but it must be an African movement that will go beyond South Africa and address these issues because they are all over. Thank you so much.
During the day, I head up a procurement unit in one of the big banks in South Africa. And mine is just an addition that transformation is not necessarily a future event, but a present activity. As a people, we do have the necessary skills, and with the correct appreciation of BBBE affirmative action policies, we can, and most of all, with unity as a people, we can continue to build or start building sustainable businesses for the future. But then I think with that said, I'd like to thank you all. Thank you.
I would have requested just for a few more young people to say something.
Yeah.
Please, guys, yabona thina esela sikhulela sibazala nisibona nje sila sikhulela kwamanzini sigijima from Kakhoza to Sekesa, from Kakhoza to Jingo. You know, so we are here sibazala kini. We want to hear you speak. Yabona uMayor, nothing excited me than to hear the youngest mayor and a mayor of a town where I grew up. And seeing that there is this young mayor who is from where I grew up, speak in the manner in which he spoke. He's free to say the things that he said. Young people, the prof is talking about you, everybody's talking about you, but in a little because the problems that we need to solve are problems that you yourselves are saying. You can see them, but we are not only just raising it on the basis of just problems. My solution on top of the common pen into the name.
My name is Charles Masilela. I'm excited to be here. I just want to, you'll excuse me if I'm going to sound a little bit more harsh or crass. Prof. Mbonambohale talks about the economy and talks about the status quo. I want to double click, I'm glad we've got the former ministers here, right? You're saying mainly ANC when they were in power. One, I'm not sure if they were quite intentional about disrupting the status quo. And if BEE actually was the brainchild of the ANC, I suspect it was given to them. I don't think the oppressor can give you a template to disrupt their own economy. That's the first thing, right? And while the status quo remaining, I suspect those who sit in these leadership positions in the ANC mainly, they were given seats at the white tables and practically maintained the status quo. They were given shares in these companies, right? I can be the chairman of the board, I can own 2% of Sasol or Standard Bank or whatsoever. And hence we still don't have the transformation of the economy because I can only improve my conditions in that white table and I don't care about the rest. Minister Stella Sitau, the late, when she took a decision that she was going to appoint Susan Salwako to be the auditing firm for Transnet. That was a bold decision that I don't see today in our leaders, right? We're going to appoint a black firm that's going to be one of our largest parastatals. We don't see that. That's why we have issues of Starlink, but we've got a lot of STEM startups in South Africa. I mean, in South Africa that are not making their way in. On the other day, we were having a conversation with one of the CEOs who's in here, or the asset managers, to say the biggest problems we have in the growth of the asset management in the space is because of the gatekeeping that exists. The assets consultants, they do not appoint or recommend black asset managers. Yet we've got the PIC being the largest asset manager in the country. It's not intentional about transforming the economy. The top 5 CEOs of the largest banks in South Africa, they are all black. The Reserve Bank governor is black. But the economy doesn't look black. What does that mean? What does it mean, right? We've got talent, we've got skills, but I don't think we've got the audacity to change the status quo. Thank you.
All right, I realized and noticed that only a few amount of students have taken and considered learning history, which is concerning. Because if we're going to be innovative, what are we innovative onto if we don't know our history? Because honestly speaking, if we're going to forget who we are, it is not something we should do. As the youth, I find it very key to know who we are and everything that we have fought for. On top of everything, I'd like for us to also encourage the youth that has not gotten the chance to attend this and know what is going on. Instead, as much as we are agitated, I hope that we can also agitate the other and the rest of the youth that hasn't gotten a chance to get this feeling. Thank you.
I'm a student of St. Michael's High School, and I'm so honored to be part of this occasion, to be amongst the leaders of the world or of other countries, speaking about the youth. We are empowered as the youth, and we ask our mayor, our Manzini, mayor, that he must begin youth empowerment programs so that we can be empowered and work hard in achieving our different goals. Thank you.
It's a comment. So what I would like to say is that as the youth, people talking about the youth, saying that they want to do things for the youth, but they ended up not doing those things they promised. So as the youth, we are angry. As the lady at the back said, the youth ends up stealing and everything, looting and everything. That is not because they want to, it's because of the need. They need the money to support whatever they want to do, to support their families and everything. So I feel as the youth, we're not involved in anything that happens. We just hear, we'll say, oh, something like this happened, or maybe they're planning to do something. I'll make an example about this country, Eswatini. I'm not sure, but I feel as if in the parliaments and all the ministries and everything, it's all people, it's not the youth. They do not maybe ask us what we want, what we feel about everything, but they only just argue themselves and not involving us. But at the end of the day, we are the ones suffering because we are the future leaders of the country. And I feel like we're not being noticed like that much as the youth. Thank you.
Before you, as a specific said, I'm currently from Brighton Park. I feel motivated to be right here because, as it has been said, the youngest mayor is in the room, so even it's possible, like also I can be motivated. So I feel empowered because I have this question in my mind that as leaders, because I believe that tomorrow even I am going to be a leader. So as leaders, it is important that we don't only view on our own parts if it will benefit us. We should also see if the people we are trying to help are benefiting or not. Because it's not only for us, it's for everyone, it's for the country, it's for the nation. Thank you.
I am one of the youngest entrepreneurs in the kingdom, as I co-own a SME. So a question I would like to pose to Mr. Mohale is, do you believe the current education system adequately prepares students for entrepreneurship? If not so, what's missing?